What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of C&C. This is episode number 16. We're starting to start some bad news. Sam Bowen broke his toe in that last game, the victory over Hartlepool, and he's out for 3 months. Gutted about that as well, because Bowen, he doesn't always get involved in our offensive play, but he's up to 65 overall this season, growing 2 ratings already. Only 21 years old as well. And of course, he's the guy we play alongside Ben Davis as part of our CM duo. And whilst Davis is, of course, officially playing as a DM, so he can get a temporary attribute increase to his current range of stats, Bowen at times kind of like sits back and protects when I want to go forward with Ben Davis, which to be fair is quite often. I've got an 80 rated player in my team in League One. Of course I'm going to get him forward quite often. So Bowen kind of like sits back in those moments there where I send Ben Davis forward. So for him to be out for 3 months, that's pretty gutting there. And you'll notice start the season off, we have quite a lot of knocks as well. And that's a good thing too. We're playing in League One right now. I've mentioned before, there are so many games in the Football League. You play a minimum of 50 games in all competitions this season, League 1 and League 2, because of the Papa John's Trophy, which is the first game of today's episode here away against Accrington Stanley. Wasn't really surprised to lose this game, though. Fielded a weakened side out there, and I'm not fussed either. But to me, the sole focus this year is trying to stay in the playoffs or the automatic promotion places in League 1. Papa John's Trophy, Carabao Cup, which of course we've already been knocked out of, and the FA Cup, whenever it comes around as well, not really fussed one bit. But yeah, to get the knocks like that is realistic as well. We're playing a minimum of 50 games per season in all competitions. It's realistic. So have quite a few players going down here and there as well. If not major injuries, then slight knocks. But there's our first big injury there, as Bowen is done for 3 months. Still with the second game, obviously, so back to matters in League One. Our talk's been a really shaky patch of form, as we know. Just 2 wins in our last 5. So ending this game here against Gillingham at Rodney Parade, aiming to get back to winning ways on the back of the defeat in midweek against Accrington Stanley. Once again, just one of those games where I was like dominating from start to finish. I find this is quite common for me in FIFA this year. I'll normally play better than the AI. Not in every game, I'm not that egotistical. There are some games where I do get beaten and get beaten comfortably, but most of the games I put up a really good fight. Yeah, it's my finishing that lets me down. I thought it was just going to be one of those games here against Gillingham. However, I've mentioned many times before, and I'll say it once again, guys, if you're like me and you're struggling to break the AI down, or you're struggling to create the clear-cut chances, don't be afraid to pull the trigger from range. Long shots this year are so OP, and I think maybe, just maybe, after the 2 patches we've had so far on console, the effectiveness has been reduced, but it's only slightly reduced. Sam Pearson scores the only goal of the game. They're banging it in from range off the post, and yeah, I definitely recommend that for you guys as a tip. I'm not the best goal scorer in FIFA, there's no doubt about that whatsoever, but I do recommend that as one little tip there. If you're struggling to break the AI down, you think you're just not going to get a chance, have a go. Just pull the trigger, have a go. I'm not saying you're definitely going to score, but you'll probably hit the target, and it's definitely worth a go because of how effective they are this year, both for the AI and for you when shooting as well. So for the following game, Sinkill Bank, Lincoln City, aiming to make it 3 wins in 3 in League One. Took the lead through Ruben Colwell. I love the pressure on his man, winning it back and then giving us the chance, which he took himself. And then 38 minutes in, once again, talk about pressure. Ben Davis wins it back, finds Sam Pearson. Great save there, as we're still leading by a goal. Another game where I played really well, but as we know, the AI only need the 1 chance. They only got the 1 chance, and they took the 1 chance as well. 22 minutes to go, Hopper bends one in from just inside the area to make it 1-1. And yeah, the I have to say that is one thing I'm noticing in this year's FIFA as well. Like, you can have an abundance of chances but only score it at once. The AI, they only need the 1 chance, but in a way it's kind of a good thing, because I know it can be really frustrating as we enter our following game here, Rotherham United away at the New York Stadium. I know it can be kind of frustrating because you can dominate all game long and you only take the 1 chance. Sometimes you don't take any of them, and then the AI just take the very 1 chance they got. But that's ultimate. Like, I always need to remind myself of that in the times where I do get frustrated, and I can get frustrated. In the last episode, I was really frustrated at a couple of the games where I failed to win. That is ultimate right there. Like, you need to be almost perfect to win the majority of your games on this difficulty, because it's the hardest difficulty in the game. It shouldn't be easy. Like, of course it shouldn't. It's ultimate. It's supposed to be hard. It can be frustrating. It can be challenging. But that's a good thing. That's playing on the hardest difficulty and exactly how it should be. So 1-1 draw there at Single Bank, followed on with another draw, goalless away at the New York Stadium against Rotherham United. So 2 points picked up from a possible 6. And I've mentioned before, like when you're going for promotion in League 1 or League 2 or the Championship in the Football League, you've got 46 games to play. There are 24 teams, and so if you're not in a great consistent run of form and you do have a struggling patch, you'll fall down the table pretty quickly. So recently we were leading the league and still undefeated, but now, however, we're on the verge of dropping out of the playoffs, and for our following game, Cheltenham Town taking us on here at Rodney Parade, right now still in the playoffs but only just. Lose this game and we could be out of it. And I was thinking, okay, after back-to-back defeats, really tough run of form, got to get back to winning ways. Cheltenham took the lead very early on, and then 10 minutes to go before the break, Sam Pearson outpaced his man and just bangs one in. Again, my finishing at times is so bad in this year's FIFA, but there are games where I'm like, I can't afford to be bad at finishing. After the goalless draw there in our last one, I knew I needed to take the chance I got in this one. So in front, Pearson with the goal. He's so good in this team, by the way. So 1-1, back on level terms, and then right from kickoff, Cheltenham surrender possession, we win it back quickly. And the one thing I'll say about this Newport side as well is that we've not got electrifying pace, but it's something I do try and utilise a lot. We do have some quick players. Isaac Davis has 76 pace, Colwell has 79 pace, and Pearson has, I believe, 82. So this is a really cool celebration, by the way. I don't know how I did this, but it looked really, really cool. But yeah, that's the one thing I need to utilise. And it's something I'd recommend to you guys as well. If you're doing an RTG and you're playing in the lower leagues, the best thing to do is get quick players, because technically the standard of technical attributes you'll have in the players you've got are most likely going to be very, very subpar, because that's just going to represent their overall quality of the sort of players you can afford to pick up in the lower leagues. But if you can get players with pace, players with strength, players with height, I definitely do recommend it at a lower league. Like, technical ability is definitely secondary to physical ability when you're playing lower league football, because if you can get in behind the back line and utilise the pace, you'll get quite a few one-on-one chances, like in this game against Cheltenham here. Look at the pace, look at the run of Davis here to split the defence, go through one-on-one and bang it in for his second goal of the game. Pace in the lower league is just so much more effective than in the top tier, where your players need to be better technically. I definitely do recommend that. So if you're doing an RTG like me, if you're in the lower leagues, look for quick players up top. If not, look for like a strong target man with good hold-up play and also good height as well to float crosses in. You see here, Charlie Catton comes off the bench, rounds his man, and look at the space he has here, because he's in behind 4 blue shirts, has plenty of time, plenty of space, and can bend it in as well. So yeah, that's definitely a tip from me, sorry. If you're doing an RTG and you just feel like you need that extra edge, I know it's sort of like it's something that can be frowned upon by FIFA players every now and then, but like if you just really need that edge, you need a bit of the advantage, I do recommend looking for the quicker players that can get in behind the back line in your attacking positions. So for the following game, final one of today's episode, Wigan Athletic away. Is it still called DW Stadium? I think it is. Wigan away though, big game here, aiming to make it back-to-back wins, and 2 wins in our last 4. Took lead very early on, 4 minutes in, Ruben Cole. I think I mentioned before, I don't know how this guy has such low potential, because he's a really decent young talent for Cardiff City. Anyway, gets the lead, makes it 1-0. Playing some really good football in the first half as well. It wasn't all about the physicality. The build-up and the movement was really good indeed. 23 minutes in, Ben Davies denied, still leading by a goal and still being a better team. And from the corner, floats it in. Terry's header brilliantly tips over the bar as we still led by just the 1. But either way, dominating the first half, still leading by 1. Looking for that second goal to double our advantage. Cole chips it into Davies, and again, some really good football played in the first half in this game. Again, it's not all about the physicality. It's not all about utilising the pace. Sometimes you can have some decent build-ups and decent movements. Assist for Ben Davies, rolls it through, and there's Isaac Davies with the goal. 3rd in 2. And a little bit of a scoring slump, Davies, after 4 in his first 4. Good to get him back in form here, 3 in 2. So Wigan 0, Newport County 2. But this was just one of those games, and you guys will have them as well, where, you know, when the AI turned from ultimate to super ultimate, this was just one of those games, and you'll play them just like I do. It's almost like when, the only thing I can compare it to is when you're struggling to beat a level in a video game and you give your controller to your older brother. Like, that's kind of how it felt heading into this game. Like, we were dominating in the first half, and then the second half, Wigan were just playing some sublime football. I just could not stop them, and from 2 goals down, they battled back to make it 2-2. We should have been home and dry at half-time. Had it not been for some great saves, we probably would have been. But now tied at 2-2, and in stoppage time, 4th minute of added time. Had it not been for an incredible save from Webb, we would have lost this game. 2-0 up, like 70 minutes in, and almost lost it 3-2. In the end, had to settle for the point. I'll take it though, because again, the AI just totally upped the intensity in the second half, and in the end, I was glad to escape there with a point. So 2-2, our patchy, inconsistent run of form continues. We're in 3rd with 3 points behind Hull, but already 10 behind the league leaders, Bristol City. 6 games to go to the halfway point, and because of how tight it is right now, it's still very congested as we try and cling on to a playoff place heading into the first half point of the season. Now, once this episode of CNC, guys, big thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. If you hadn't, please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of CNC very soon.